Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
The following program, The Family Meeting, is sponsored by Polaris Insurance Agency and Eric Grant, and to the extent of their guests. The views and opinions expressed therein do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of NewsWeb Radio Company or its management.
This is Miss Lady B, La Boricua. Now it's time for the Family Meeting News.
Here is a real news highlight from the Family Meeting. Jamie Dimon, chairman and CEO of the Wall Street Mega Bank, y'all. Just forget just the bank. JP Morgan Chase has weathered one scandal after another during his tenure. But now the bank is back in the news for owning a massive container ship, which was seized last week in Philadelphia by U.S. Customs following the discovery of 20 tons of cocaine located in containers on the ship on June 17th. Cocaine! This cocaine is estimated to have a street value of $1.3 billion. The ship is believed to be worth about $90 million, and as losses go at JP Morgan Chase, that's just a drop in the bucket, y'all. The bank infamously lost more than $6.2 billion in 2012 to 2013 using deposits from its federally insured bank to gamble in high-risk derivatives in London and paid out $1 billion to settle charges in the matter. Now look, they gambled 6.2, paid out $1 billion. That's net gain of 5.2, right? Okay, y'all walk with me now. The bank paid $13 billion in 2013 to settle charges with regulators that it had misled investors in the sale of toxic mortgages. Then there were the felony counts to which it pleaded guilty. The bank pleaded guilty to 2 felony counts in January 2014 for its role in facilitating the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme through the Madoff Business Bank account in the U.S. while telling regulators in the UK that the bank suspected a Ponzi scheme was occurring. Suspected. The bank paid $2.6 billion to settle that matter. And then again, on May 20th, 2015, JP Morgan Chase pleaded guilty to yet another criminal felony count for the bank's role in rigging foreign exchange markets and plunked down $550 million to settle that charge. The list goes on and on and on and on. But for me, the question is, why is a complex bank like this that clearly doesn't have adequate risk controls to stay on the right side of the law being allowed to own a container ship that ended up with $1.3 billion in cocaine in its hull? I'm confused. This is just, oh my God. Okay, so the Federal Reserve Bank of New York issued a study in July 2012 titled A Structural View of U.S. Bank Holding Companies. The report revealed an astonishing level of encroachment by the mega banks on Wall Street into the industrial side of the U.S. economy. The study showed that U.S. bank holding companies owned 16 utilities, 479 insurance companies, 2,388 real estate firms, 1,682 healthcare and social assistance companies, and 5 mines. The public also learned from Senate hearings in 2014 that Wall Street's largest bank owns at least 104 metal warehouses, with complaints coming from beer and soda manufacturers that these firms control the London Metal Exchange and are rigging the price of aluminum. This 20-ton drug bust should galvanize Congress into reopening the aborted hearings of 2013 and 2014, y'all, into the more than 14,000 subsidiaries of the 6 largest banks in the U.S. that have absolutely nothing to do with banking. All while, guys, this is all federally backed by your dollars.
Your dollars.
Your dollars. All right. For more info about Eric, Richard, and myself and any upcoming events, please visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. You can also find us all over social media. Be sure to go and like our Facebook page, The Family Meeting. Follow us on Twitter at TFM Radio Show, on Instagram, The Family Meeting. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Family Meeting Radio Show, where you can see us live streaming this broadcast right now. Are you looking to advertise your business or an event you may have coming up? Well, we have a spot for you for as low as $30. Become a cousin today. Email us, info@tfmradioshow.com. I'm Teresa McDonald, and this has been your highlights for Sunday, July 14th. The Family Meeting Radio Show starts right now with your host, Eric Grant.
A 2016 study estimates that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft that year. Fight back against identity theft by signing up for Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected, as well as help protect your computer from viruses, keylogging, and other serious threats. Plus, with Identity Guard's dynamic credit management resources and tools, you will have helpful information as you make better financial and credit decisions. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection, and more if you ever do become a victim. Protect your ID by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard today.
Mom, Dad, let's talk. It seems like only yesterday your parents were offering you advice, but now you could be in a position to help them. Do they have a plan? How would they handle a long-term care event? Are they prepared emotionally and financially for the future? Starting those conversations can be challenging. Call Polaris Insurance Agency and we'll send you the Let's Talk guide free of charge. Call 888-355-7154. Again, 888-355-7154.
Make a smart financial move for retirement. Make your retirement money into an IRA. Scheduled income. Support your dream. Explore investment options. Gain full control over your money. Give the money a chance for additional tax-deferred growth. How do you start? Call Polaris Wealth Management, the resource for IRA rollovers. Call 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Polaris Wealth Management is the resource for IRA rollovers. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. We help new retirees plan to protect their money. Securities offered through Line Street Financial LLC. Member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Line Street Advisors LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Line Street are not affiliated.
My name is Cecil B. Lucy, attorney at law and a certified public accountant. I listen to the family meeting.
This is Jack Charlier. Find me on Twitter at Citizen Jack, and I listen to the family meeting.
Welcome to the worldwide headquarters. I like saying that. Worldwide headquarters of the family meeting.
Thurston Howell III.
That's right.
Thurston.
Thurston Howell III.
It's family meeting time. I'm your boy E in the space shuttle cockpit. Devin and Paul are bouncing around somewhere. Thank you guys for the work you do. Trista, thanks for the news.
Oh, you are so welcome.
And the only way you know how to do it, girl.
Thank you.
And welcome back, too.
Aw, did y'all miss me?
You look kind of glowy.
I'm all tanned up.
She had a little more
man.
chocolate on her. I saw that when we were outside. I was like, oh. I had to give her a vibe on the sundress she's wearing.
Oh, my God.
Work that thing, girl. Work that thing. Yeah. The Black Asian dude is here. Richard Chu. What's up, partner?
Yeah. Good to see y'all, man.
I was right on the heels of getting ready to go take another walk, I suppose.
In the Grand Canyon?
Yeah,
That's right.
he's going to the canyon, baby.
To take a walk. Like us on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, but also be sure to visit our webpage, tfmradioshow.com. Right there you'll find all kind of interesting information, our bios, but most importantly, and our archived broadcast, our music playlist, but most importantly, the broadcast of this show going on right there, right now, tfmradioshow.com. The family meeting is sponsored by Identity Guard. Take time to protect your ID. For as little as $6 per month with Identity Guard, visit lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com. You never knew who I saw this week?
No. Who?
I saw Bubbles' mother.
No way.
Aww.
How was Bubbles?
Mother Bubbles?
I call you Mama Bubbles.
Yeah, Mama Bubbles.
Mrs. Bub.
Yeah.
How
then I called Bubbles too, man.
Yeah. You saw her?
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, I
what
called
was he
Bubbles.
up to?
He's he's in police training now. He's in training for the municipal police department in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Yep. He's in
It
the
lasts
academy.
until December.
Wow.
I didn't realize it lasts that long. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's been gone a minute.
Yeah, that's like longer than basic training, isn't it?
Yeah,
Close. Basic
or
training
a little
is-
bit till December.
it's
Yeah,
close.
it's
Yeah.
longer because basic training is only like 6 months.
Yeah, basic training is 6 months. OCS is
Yeah.
same thing. Yeah,
He said he ain't killed nobody yet or anything. So,
but the key word being yet.
yeah, one shot, man.
Not yet.
But he's learning how to, though. In case he got to kill
miss
somebody.
Bubba.
Yep. Hey, listen, the number is 773-763-9278. 773-763-9278. Hey, man, listen.
What?
First off, I had a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot of people, some people hit me up about last week's broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I'm not punching anybody in the nose.
No.
Look, we know that was metaphorically.
It's metaphorical.
speaking. We know.
Unless you get on your boy's nerves. But no, I ain't just
And
going.
even if somebody gets on your nerves, you try to give them a warning.
But
Like,
here's the thing. I don't care.
I know you.
I'm just making sure I say it. Just
Right.
because,
Yeah, we know.
because it's,
And anybody
it's ridiculous.
that took that wrong and
No,
took
took
that
it
literally,
Yeah.
shame on you.
Shame on you.
Yeah,
Man,
shame on you.
you're an idiot for that. Yeah.
And that's the
And
verbal.
you deserve
punch
to
in
get
the
punched in the nose.
That's the verbal punch in the nose for being an idiot.
Yeah,
we really
yeah,
got to do that.
yeah, the
Man got-
virtual. You
man-
get the
man-
virtual
wait,
punch.
Man got 3 kids. He's gonna punch somebody in the nose.
It's happened before.
I know.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. It can happen, but
You know, it's the
I'm
rest.
not just gonna go around pie just pie just
Yeah.
if it come to it, I don't mind, but
You got to get your boy.
I could see how there were people who actually took him literally, but
he's gonna go around punching us in the nose.
yeah.
And we're just
no.
trying to.
Like homie don't play that. He don't
Yeah.
people on the head.
That's
Oh wait,
that's
what was the
emphasis.
dude? What's the dude who does the cigarettes that runs around if you're smoking? You know, you see him on YouTube.
Oh yeah, Tyrone.
yeah, you're not gonna be like Tyrone.
I'm Tyrone.
Put that cigarette down.
If you haven't seen the YouTube videos from Tyrone, you should Google that right now.
Tyrone gonna get
Tyrone,
messed
he's
up.
gonna get jacked
He
up by
gonna get
somebody
jacked up.
smacking cigarettes
Yeah.
out of people's
Yeah, he
heads.
gonna get jacked up.
But listen though, the lesson of the week that I learned, that I got, and it conjured up. I used to watch Dr. Phil a lot for whatever reason. It was entertaining to watch people suffer. I suppose it's like watching a car accident. I guess. But you can't. He always said, you can't fix what you don't acknowledge.
Correct.
Absolutely.
You can't or won't fix what you can't or won't acknowledge.
Absolutely.
So I watched Evil Personified when your vice president
Come
went
on.
down to those
Cages.
yeah,
Those cages.
and saw all those people lined up in that caged room. They didn't even take the time.
To talk to the people.
Well, they didn't take the time to clean the place up before he got there.
They just showed them as was.
They had masks on because of the stench. So these people were wearing street clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can only surmise. I don't know for sure, but I can only surmise they don't have access to washing machines, and those are probably the clothes they wore
That they came over with.
on their journey. I also can surmise, and I don't know for sure, that they don't have access to their luggage, so they have a change of clothes. It's a regular Gilligan's Island in that place. They're wearing the same clothes. So, all that, if you put all that together, it probably stinks in there.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just
Right.
a little bit.
Just a little bit.
So you got all these white dudes rolling up in there, not even making eye contact with these guys behind this cage.
Didn't make eye contact. Didn't walk over and talk to any of them. Didn't
No.
say anything. Yeah.
They're behind the cage. It's not enough room for people to lay down in there. Nothing to lay on to start with, except the floor. So he gets on television and tries to convince us that we didn't see
what we saw.
just saw. You can't fix what you won't acknowledge.
Yeah.
Nope. It's
Yeah. Pence came out and made a statement that said, I have no doubt that these people have access to food, water, health care, shelter. They're being sheltered. And what he saw didn't give him any kind of pause, basically, to say that these things weren't being provided.
Because you can walk into a dog kennel and see dogs in a cage and feel a little bit some way about that.
Yeah.
But human beings,
yeah.
the only way you can do what he did is if you don't see those people
As humans.
as human beings.
As human beings.
That's what you saw this week. If you didn't know you saw that,
Yeah.
that's what you saw this week.
And you saw the incarnation of evil in a man that's supposed to profess himself as being all Christian and all that stuff.
I saw
because
a post.
that was the essence of evil, to sit to be there and to not acknowledge. And I haven't read the entire Bible in a long time, but I know that we could find a few points of scripture that talk about what
these
they
folks
did.
That's not Christian.
That is not Christian.
I saw a post, and I think you mentioned this, Richard, but when you said it, I kind of heard it, but it just kind of went over my head because I wasn't really thinking about it in that vein at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But you said something, and I saw this exact same post. Someone said, America is waking up the way Germany did, where a third of the population wants to kill another third of the population while the other third watches.
Yeah.
That's it.
I heard somebody on some media outlet, and I wish I could, it was a she, I can't remember her name. She said that if you were able to look at what's happening down there on the clips and the videos that we have, and you're not moved to action, you're either dying inside or something's already died in you.
Yeah.
You know how we were struggling, Eric, with watching. I'm just drawing a blank on Ava DuVernay's piece
When
on
They See Us.
When They See Us. Thank you. So how you were struggling to watch that. I did watch it. Ann and I watched it. I have not been able to. I have to tell you this. I have not been able to watch any of the coverage of this and reading some of the tweets, looking at some of the things on the internet, because it angers me so much that I can't deal with that emotion, because you said it last week. These are children. These are human beings.
But not in their eyes.
And not and it just, and when I see somebody justifying it in any shape, form, or fashion, I got to tell you guys a story since we're on real quick. My mother-in-law voted for Jill Stein in the 2016 election. Her justification.
Put out on Front Street, ain't you?
No, he said this before.
I said this before.
He has.
She said that she couldn't vote for Hillary because of the emails. She wasn't in love with Obama because he was for abortion, which is not true. And that but she wasn't going to vote for Trump because she thought he was an idiot. All right. So let's fast forward to where we are now. She said to Ann on Wednesday, she said, you know what? I think I've hit the point. My mother-in-law is 89 years old. She said, I think I hit the point where I can't sit around and worry about what I'm doing in my house and my life and blah, 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 blah. When it finally hit me that if I were younger, she said, if I were younger, I would have you kids put me on a plane, fly me down to Texas so I could go and help and try to take care of some of these babies. This is a woman who gave birth to 7 children, a Republican, stone cold Republican.
Babies.
And so my point is, that's where the rest of folks got to get to. So my mother-in-law may have voted, quote unquote, in a way that wasn't, but she saw this.
The thought that overwhelmingly keeps popping up in my mind are 6, 7, and 8-year-olds taking care of infants that they don't know anything about. They're not their
what
brothers.
To do, how to
don't
do.
know how to do. And I can just, in my mind, picture these babies crying incessantly for a familiar scent.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a familiar scent.
Overall it's inhumane.
It is.
Inhumane.
It
and
is.
when you try to engage in the conversation, those who want to question your engagement say things like, well, Obama built the cages.
Nope.
Wait a minute. Let's say let's presume he did.
Yeah,
What's that got to do with how you treat children?
Where's your ability? So let's say that he did. Then where's your ability to correct the behavior?
Wait a minute, no, but it ain't about the cages. It's about the treatment. If the children are in cages but treated well, we have a different discussion. But since you want to diffuse the conversation by talking about some damn fences,
yeah, I can remember stories being plastered all over the news back when Barack was president about how luxurious the people coming over the border had it. They had these family suites that they were staying in that had beds for the mom and for the children. They didn't have the fathers in there per se, but they did have the children with their moms, and how they had these beautiful playrooms, and they were being fed and 3 meals a day, and they were going to school. I remember the outrage that was happening because he was treating them humanely.
In a crisis situation.
Still within a complex. They couldn't leave, but he didn't have them like you have them now.
Caged and
like
same
dogs
clothes
in
and stuff.
cages.
And
I can't.
You wonder how. I mean, going back to the point, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. So you look at all the polls now. We got, 45 people on the Democratic side running for president
It's
now?
a gang of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gang
And then
of
they
'em.
match every one of them up against the imbecile in the White
It's
House.
a gang of them.
And so you see poll
As if
numbers.
that's even legitimately being done.
Right.
Any of those people, even that book guru, I would take her over Trump.
Marianne Williams.
Yes.
A weed smoker, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
But when you look at the polls, and I don't know legitimacy of polls. Ultimately, I don't know
Yeah,
them.
I don't take any.
But just the
stock
mere
in
fact that you can conduct a poll now that shows that he may lose, but not by much.
Mm-hmm. They're giving him legitimacy.
With all this stuff going on, all the stuff he's done and said, and he's still within striking distance
Guys, it ain't about him.
of being reelected.
It ain't about him. It's the
Wait
people.
a minute. Here again, you can't change what you don't acknowledge.
Yeah.
So there's a problem in this country.
Yep.
This isn't the first time this country's engaged in despicable behavior like
Absolutely.
this. This ain't new.
No.
This is this. We're not better than this.
Eugenics.
This thing is what this country does.
Mm-hmm.
And until you acknowledge that that's what this country is, then you're not going to change it.
Right, because too many people are running around going, again, from the back of their throat. Well, we've been doing this, and it's not our fault, and I didn't have slaves, and we didn't do that, because they can't acknowledge the evil.
They can't acknowledge
They can't acknowledge it.
So you end up in a situation where they want to characterize you as hating America because you're pointing out these flaws.
Yeah,
They're refusing to acknowledge the problem, and therefore it never changes.
Yeah, I mean, just remember when Michelle Obama said that this is the moment that I fell back in love with my country during the 2008 election, and she got hammered over.
She did.
But
She hates America. And her husband's a Muslim and all that kind of garbage.
I'm glad to see our country step forward, but she got hammered for just that. But she acknowledged it. Yeah, it's a big,
you know what?
it's a big one.
This needs to be a fight. I mean, this is not a hug situation.
No.
This is, you got to break a bottle, get you a stick.
Oh,
it needs to be
we
on.
had a gentleman try that today. There was an Antifa member that went down, and he literally tried to liberate these camps.
So you can deal with those of us who are reasonable, or we can send him to get you.
Yeah.
Right. He ain't
They shot and killed him.
Figure out a way. Figure out which one you want.
But there's another one there's going to be some more coming.
Because
they're
all it
tired
needed
of
was
this.
one to couple step to the line.
That's all they needed.
The number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
Hi, this is Patty Schuler. You can get a hold of me at Patty, Patty, at naturesrootedwisdom.com. Keep listening to Family Meeting.
You think about the pedigree, to own a whole catalog. All I'm saying is, don't sleep on me, dog. I really want.
Hey Chicago, are you always on the go? Take the new Shy 311 app with you to find the information that you need, submit non-emergency city service requests, and much more. Download the new Shy 311 app, built with Chicagoans for Chicagoans. That's Shy 311 on the App Store or Google Play, or check it out online at 311.chicago.gov. Stay informed with Shy 311. It's your gateway to Chicago services.
This is Richard Chu, owner of First Capital Insurance Group, and my message is do what is doable. We each have a different measure of financial success. My mission is to help you define your financial goals in light of a realistic budget and time horizon. I want you to have a great year and a great life, but we have to keep it real. Is your retirement plan giving you the protection, interest rate, and cash you'll need in retirement? If you've had issues with your 401k, IRA, or other financial programs, give us a call. We have proven solutions and we can help. My direct number is 312-243-3907. Let's talk soon. Or visit my website, firstcig.com. That's the number 1, stcig.com.
A single K plan is a 401k plan designed especially for business owners and immediate family, regardless if they are incorporated or not. Single Ks offer both employer and employee contributions and in many cases have no setup fee or annual plan administrative charges. Single Ks are simple to administer with no government reporting required. Most importantly, this plan allows employees to access their savings via hardship withdrawals or loans. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com or call us about your business or organization's retirement plan at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Polaris provides empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
I stumbled on this photograph and kind of made me laugh. It took me way back down memory lane. I see the happiness, I see the pain. Where am I? Back down memory lane. I see us standing there.
This is Lisa Lenore, writer, editor, and educator. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Look at there, look at there.
Man.
The way you held me.
Wow.
No one could tell me.
I can't hit the high note. I ain't gonna lie.
No, you can't do that.
Sorry,
so
y'all.
this week was the 40th anniversary of her death.
Yep.
It was.
Yep.
Made me think of my mom and daddy.
Many
Sorry
would
about that, y'all.
pretend. Yeah. You know, she's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Born and raised right here.
Well, all the greats come from.
Y'all wasn't ready for that one, was you?
No, I wasn't.
And then her daughter,
Is
Maya?
Maya Rudolph.
Yeah, Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
She's a comedian.
Yeah, she's on Saturday Night Live.
She was.
For a long time.
I don't think she's there anymore.
No, she's not, but she's doing all
She's
kinds
doing a lot of films and stuff. Yeah.
Good, goofy commercials.
So this thing with this Jeffrey Epstein guy came to a head this week, and you know, there's enough been said about what happened with this cat and what he's been up to, and if your boy in the White House was even involved. I don't, you know, that's just that's some old nasty stuff.
Listen. Jeffrey Epstein.
Get him.
Don't make me laugh. This dude been surrounded by this people doing sexual deviant stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Once again,
but we're supposed to believe that he is
right.
But watch this
the
though.
Self-proclaimed will go into the dressing room
of
a teenage girls during a pageant.
Miss Teen America.
To watch them change.
Man, all that stuff is nasty. But here again, you got people who are on television they're outraged because he got this sweetheart deal. What happened? It's unbelievable. It's a sweetheart deal.
Thurston Howell Grant.
Oh my God!
You know what though? This ain't the first time.
No.
It happens all the time.
All the time.
But your ass walk around upset and surprised that he got the sweetheart deal. Here again, you can't change what you don't acknowledge.
Right.
That's the
I'm
problem.
waiting on the Jeffrey Epstein documentary.
Oh,
you know, I want to survive Jeffrey Epstein.
Right. That and the
because they survived R. Kelly. I want to survive in Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. But I mean, this happened in plain sight. Everybody saw this.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything.
No.
It took all these years for this one Julie Brown, the investigative reporter for the Miami Herald.
Right.
Kudos. She should win an award for the work she's done.
and have some protection detail around her.
Absolutely, because they've been threatening her already. Right. So that's the other thing. So now they're threatening her.
Right.
Right.
Punks.
Okay. Now we're outraged because they're threatening a reporter. Wait a minute. Hold on a second, player. They've been threatening reporters forever.
Yep.
Why won't you acknowledge that?
You could write a book on if you can't acknowledge it, you can't fix it. I mean, it's so true, and that's
not true. That's not true. No, we don't do that in this country. We're greater than that. What?
That is what drives me bat crazy because all we've been saying as black folks for years is that we didn't say that you had slaves or that you personally mistreated people, but we're saying if you don't acknowledge that it exists, and when we bring it up, we're not playing the race card, then you're a damn fool, and I ain't got no time for you. And the damage that it's caused, the economic violence, all the other violence. Hey, I got to give a quick shout out to some new listeners, only because
did they pay?
They will. Did they pay? No, they didn't. Oh man, Marianne and Gary, if you're listening,
hey, y'all got to pay, man.
So see, I tried to help you out.
Let me give you an address, player. You got to send a check, man.
Eric's gonna send you an invoice. So just be prepared, guys.
help
Pay
me,
that,
Jesus,
man.
help me, Lord.
But I have to tell you, the reason that has relevance to what we're talking about is when we were at a wedding last night, and I met them for they were at our wedding, 10 years ago, and I hadn't seen them in the 10 years. So we were talking toward the end of the wedding last night, and Ann said, "Oh, you got to listen to Richard and Eric and Tressa on their show tomorrow afternoon." Blah blah blah. And Mary Ann said, "Oh my God,
why does Ann do that to people?
Because it's an Ann. That's how Ann is. That's
I
how she
love
You
rolls.
want to punish people like that?
She's 6'3", because she's 6'3", man.
I love
So-
it. Look, and it ain't like she giving you a choice. She's telling you.
She's telling, right.
"Hey, I need you to watch this show.
Right, she does. She kind of gangstered on him. She did kind of gangster on him, trust. It was funny. But here's the reason I'm saying it, relevance, is that Mary Ann said to Gary, her husband, she said, yeah, he's become a lot more liberal in the last couple of years. And Gary said, yeah, that's what Trump will do to you. And I left it alone.
And what the hell has he been doing all this time?
But that's the point.
Before the idiot got in the White House.
Right. And so Gary, if you're listening, man, I'm messing with you because you need to use the phrase that we use, get your boy. Yeah. So everybody that you know,
start talking to him.
Start talking to him.
This whole thing, honestly, you know what, man? Malcolm X once said, there's never been a bloodless revolution.
Nope.
And, this is not a revolution per se, but things need to revolve a bit.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, they do.
And so somebody's got to have an unpleasant experience to make this change.
And not the people who've been having unpleasant experiences.
Yeah, but it's got to start with people acknowledging that there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, and the reparations thing, it's the same thing. There's no way you're going to be able to address it unless you intellectually acknowledge there's a problem. I got into a little mini sword fight with an imbecile on Twitter, and so he's trying to say that Bill Clinton caused the market, the economic crash of 2008, 2009.
Really?
He went all the way back to Clinton?
So he was like, all I have to do is Google it and you can see. So I Googled it, right? And, the first 5 pages didn't show anything about Bill Clinton. And so it turns out that if you go to the 6th page, then you have an editorial, which is not fact. It's an opinion. So it's an opinion that Bill Clinton caused it. And it was authored, of course, by some imbecile on the right who doesn't want to take responsibility for anything. It's everybody else's fault all the time. And that's his fact.
He said the 2007, 8, 9 crash
caused by Bill Clinton.
Was caused by Really?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Listen, before we spend any time on that level of stupidity,
I'll be quiet.
Please.
My point is when you see stupidity, you have to acknowledge
that it's stupid.
Right. So when they come on television, and Chris Cuomo gets on my damn nerves because he's always bringing both sides. There ain't both sides to the truth.
No.
There's not both sides to the truth.
Or to these issues.
So, don't. Well, hey, listen, aren't you being disingenuous? No.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. You're lying.
Yeah, silence helps the oppressor.
Yeah, we got it.
Choose a side.
I don't want to quote Dr. King, but we know what he said about, the person who does not speak up. And you said this last week, Eric, about cowards and what AOC has been talking about, and she's been spot on. And we got a bunch of cowards, and they're on the right. Certainly, we got evil people that
we said the greatest threat to mankind is cowards.
Yeah. So the evil people that are on the ones that are on the right, those are cowards over there. On the left, we just got some weak.
No. I wouldn't. I would say they're all cowards.
No. I'm giving this like a second definition. We got evil people on the right that are cowards. We have weak people on the left that are cowards. They're both cowards.
Because now they're engaging AOC in a way that I think is.
Well, I said that this was going to happen with her.
Here's the big problem. Here's the big problem. The Democrats seem more concerned about how they feel than how I feel.
Yep.
Right. we don't want to do anything to upset the people that don't support us.
Right.
At the risk of upsetting the people who do support us.
Time and time again. We have.
This AOC turned over a solid seat from an incumbent who'd been there for whatever number of years.
And they're about to get another one turned over with that Rakan or whatever the woman's name is. She's
Yeah.
an attorney.
Oh, the one that's running against Mitch McConnell?
No, not.
Oh,
not
but she
her.
raising a whole lot of money.
I'm talking about the woman up in New
Kentucky.
York. There's another woman in New York that's about to do some AOC stuff, but
Right.
you're talking about Amy McGrath.
Yes.
Look, I am.
I
pretty-
sent money
I'm
to her campaign.
I'm gonna take my
I
behind
did.
down there. I'm gonna
But
find a way to get down there. But anyhow,
the AOC and the people who are part of her little
Ileana
But she gotta stop though, dude.
No, listen, man. The only way you're going. This is not.
I just listen. I just talked to. I had before a bunch of my friends went down to the Essence Fest, because the Essence Fest was also this past weekend. So you're talking thousands upon thousands upon thousands of professional women of color, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I usually will go to. They call it something, but I can't remember what it is. But they all kind of like meet,
Mhm.
and then the We Evolve also came of this past weekend as well. That's the Women Evolve. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
Yep.
So overwhelmingly, and I hate to bring this news back, but overwhelmingly, the black women and the brown women that I spoke to have both said, not both, but they've all said Kamala, they see her as the angry black woman, and AOC, they see her as the big mouth brown woman. And that if they would just tone it down just a little. Real assassins move in silence.
Mm-hmm.
We're
I'm
not
not buying
saying be quiet, but don't always be the one that's standing up there. Because every picture, if you notice, every picture that they take and put of AOC up somewhere, it's always with a mouth and some sort of growl or some sort of loudness.
Yo, man, I'm feeling that. I'm sorry. I mean, it's time that somebody made these. So there was a quote unquote blue wave, right? And what did we send them there to do? Was to fight the fight.
Like the fight.
And they're doing anything but that.
I disagree with you.
They're jostling a little bit and,
I just disagree
and sending
with you.
tersely worded memos.
They're playing chess.
No,
Everybody else is playing checkers.
No,
I'm
you know what?
telling you.
They've been playing chess for the better part of 50 years then. Because they make promises that they don't keep because they're anticipating the next election.
Well, when you say promises that they don't keep, what do you mean by that?
Lots of them.
Like?
Okay, tell me what they have done.
No. Don't turn a question into a question. Because what I have noticed is
What did we send them there to do but impeach this imbecile?
I didn't send them there to impeach him. I sent them there, the person that I voted for. I sent them there to be a check.
Are they checking him?
Yes.
How so?
They're going through the steps of checking him. There's a system, and then there's
You can't check him that way. That ain't how he's fighting.
I'll use a sports
Now
analogy.
I agree that that's not how he's fighting. He's fighting dirty as, you know. I get it.
See, here's the problem.
That ain't how
It's
you
not-
check
It's
him.
not that
'Cause
AOC
that's why
or
people.
Elon
That's why people lost their enthusiasm about Obama because he wasn't fighting
in the way that they
I
want.
disagree.
In the way that they want. He
See,
fought the
see,
way that
right,
he
in the
could.
way they wanted him to fight.
He
So
fought-
then we're again. I go back to this because then that makes us no different than Trump's base.
No.
Trump's
no,
out
no,
here acting
no,
a
no,
dang
no.
on fool, and they love it.
See,
That's the way you got to deal with them.
But see, here's I'll use a sports analogy. And trust me, I'm with both of you guys on this, and this is the reason why. The sports analogy that I best find is you've been going up against a team that's been whooping your behind for a while, and you know you can beat them, but the way you got to beat them is to change two things. You got to change your players, and you got to change your strategy. We changed our players in 2018.
They did.
Right, but we didn't change the strategy. We're still operating, and that's what's frustrating a lot of people, both that are the politicians that have been elected and those who are the citizens.
Think about-
they didn't change their strategy. Their strategy is still to kind of go along.
Think about the last succession of presidents that have come through the Republican Party, starting with Nixon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We know them. Nixon. Then it was
Ford.
then it was Reagan.
Ford.
Ford. Yeah.
Reagan.
Who tripped and fell all the damn time, was a complete bumbling idiot.
It was probably a
Then it was
Democrat at
Reagan.
heart.
Then it was Reagan. Then it was the first Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was the second Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Turmoil every time.
when they get in office, it's turmoil.
Every single time.
It's craziness.
There's no peace.
So
We
here's
go
the
to
thing.
war.
Yeah, but those
There's
people-
no way with that track record that they should ever get elected again.
We've said that. But that's not.
But they
that's
keep
not-
getting elected.
Yeah,
but it's because of how the Democrats operate.
And at the same
No,
time, the other
I
thing that's
disagree
happened,
with that
but the same
100%.
thing that's happened, though, Trust, at the same time, is that the Democrats have moved away from left, solid, middle class, strength, non-total Wall Street politics. They've moved to the center, which strengthens. I mean, just look at the scale. The scale is tipping more and more this way toward the right.
Well, I mean, the bigger thing is they don't stand up for what they
Because
do.
if they stood up, they put their weight back down on the left side, and the Republicans are not out of balance.
There's no
right now.
way that
They're
they
just
should ever
scared.
win with their track record, starting with the impending impeachment of
Okay,
Nixon
but
all the way through.
that's not.
And so our goal.
So you blame that on the Democrats?
Yeah,
And
because they're not fighting the
why?
fight.
Some of it I blame.
Because people
a lot on the
I
media.
don't go vote, no Democrat gets elected.
Right, but
True.
you have to be inspired.
I don't have to be inspired.
Well, okay, but
I
that's
just
you.
need to be educated
I'm talking
and
about the
informed.
electorate
What's
in
wrong
general.
with everybody else?
Okay, but I'm telling you, they're not inspired.
The other part of this, though,
So
is the media.
then
Guys,
they're
we got
the
to
ones
remember
failing.
we got to remember
Not
the part of the
necessarily
media.
the Democrats.
We have
Yeah,
to,
but-
They're the ones failing.
look
Because
at-
if nobody has to inspire me to tell me that Trump's an idiot.
But look at
Then nobody have to inspire
right,
me to that.
exactly. So it should be an easy win when you run like an imbecile like that.
Right.
It should be an easy win. Why would you ever lose to him?
Because you got lazy and Fiancé sitting at home.
Well, and we
Why are
also
they sitting at home?
We also have a complicit
Because that's
media.
the choice.
Because they're not
They
inspired.
made that choice, though.
They're not inspired.
Well, I think that
It's still a choice.
I think that it is a choice. It no matter what, it's always a choice. Whether they choose to or not to, it's a choice.
Exactly.
But-
Nobody needs to inspire me.
But
You.
but trust me,
I'm
that's-
talking about the electorate.
as it relates.
Not
I'm
you.
part of the electorate.
I know you are. I am too. I don't need to be inspired like that, but people need to be inspired.
The
Then that's what we need to be talking about.
And that's what the Democrats don't
I'm
do.
tired of
But-
stroking folks' ego.
But see,
We ain't stroking
in
egos.
some ways though, Tressa, this is
If
where
you're
I go.
inspiring me, you're stroking my ego
No,
some
no,
kind
no,
of way.
Tressa,
you're-
would you
you're taking a
would you try,
position
would you
on
try
subject.
this on?
No,
Would you try
that's
this on as it relates to what you said about the brown women, women of color that you spoke with, and how they said that they feel that AOC and Senator Harris should tighten it up a little bit. So let me throw this out. If that's the case, the other part of that conversation is there are people who are that maybe shouldn't be or need to be, but are inspired by what they're saying and how they're saying it.
I'm not saying that they should change a thing.
Well, if you dial it
They
back, you're
have to.
changing.
They have to. People have to see them fight for them.
Yeah, because
You
that's what
gotta-
they don't see. That's why people are staying home.
They're not fighting for them. They're fighting to make sure they don't upset the other side. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's untenable. I'm not going for that.
I don't.
Listen, I'm
I
not
hear
saying
you,
I'm not saying that
but
you
I
shouldn't
disagree.
vote or that you should vote for the other side. I'm saying that they got to start inspiring people and stop being
I
punks.
disagree with that.
So when we come
100%
back,
I
then Tressa,
disagree.
tell us what the AOC and what Senator Harris should be saying and doing, or how.
No, let me tell you something. The next president needs to be a woman.
Yeah,
I don't care what you say.
and I'll tell you who my
Yeah.
ticket is.
The number is 773-763-9278. We get into the calls next, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Utilizing the effects of the smoke. Broadcast is smashed to make the last fill with to a pass. Don't even ass in the plastic. Put that ass in the granite. Flag is half man. Somebody must have passed it. They made it to ash.
This is Attorney Darnell Lyles. We'd like for you to keep listening to the family meeting.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. All benefits are subject to policy definitions, limitations, and exclusions. For details, visit qualitylifeinsurance.com.
When you're doing chores around the house, it makes everything easier when you have the right tools. You wouldn't want to use a hammer to repair the switch on a lamp. The same is true if you're preparing for your future. The right tools make all the difference. For many people, Quality of Life Insurance is the right tool. It's affordable life insurance from an industry leader, so you know it will be there for your family if you die. But it can also be a source of income if you become disabled or have a serious illness and need living benefits to preserve your quality of life. And even gives you options to help build cash value for retirement. It's a versatile tool to help you build for your future. Call your local agent to shed a little light on the advantages of Quality of Life Insurance.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
The reason that it's important to advertise on the family meeting is that we have an economical way of reaching a great audience. One could say it's not cheap, but what we like to say is that it's an effective buy for a business or an individual who wants to reach a quality audience. The reason that it's important or a good place to advertise is that our cousins love to patronize. I'm Richard Chu, also known as Bad, the Black Asian dude with the family meeting. For more information on advertising on the family meeting, you can reach us at info@tfmradioshow.com. That's info@tfmradioshow.com. You can also contact us at area code 708-794-6444, 708-794-6444.
Hey, Chicago, this is motivational speaker and author William A. Eady II, author of the book Listen If You Want to Succeed. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Yeah, the number is 773-763-9278, 773-763-9278. Woosah.
Yeah.
All right, let me hit these phones, man, because
It's lining up,
We're
yeah.
getting stacked up here. Let me get my man Chris calling from North Lake. Chris, what's up, man? Okay, got to push the button, guys. Hey, Devin.
Paul, Devin.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, Chris. Hold on a second, man. Don't go anywhere. You got me, Chris? Devin? Okay, there we go. Oh, there you are. Chris, what's up, man?
May I speak now? Oh.
Certainly.
No, a great idea. Put a woman in the White House. We know what men can do.
We do, don't we?
Yep.
You got war, and you got all kinds of horrible things.
Yeah.
So let's pop a woman in there. I like Harris. I think she's in the learning process, and I think she's one of the smartest people running.
You think she's in the
Very
learning?
intelligent.
What makes you think she's in the learning process?
Well, she's a rookie candidate for president. You know, I mean, she hasn't done this before or anything.
Nobody has.
She's what? She was a state attorney general or something?
Yeah,
In California. Nobody's run for president before. Everybody's
okay, well,
a rookie.
She's got some experience in government anyway, and she seems very intelligent to me.
Absolutely, yeah. She went to Howard. What can you expect, man?
Excuse me a second. One of the residents is throwing a tantrum.
I can hear, man.
That's fine.
That's crazy.
Okay, sorry guys. Okay, one thing I'd like to celebrate is that the cockroaches are almost totally invulnerable to our insecticides. I thought that'd be something to look forward to.
Oh,
They're
that's
almost
encouraging.
indestructible.
That's encouraging.
Isn't that good? And on top of, I'm rambling here. As you know, I'm a senior citizen. I was at the Social Security office Friday, and I'm just sitting there waiting around. I look up, and here's Pensk on the wall with Mussolini, you know, and I'm sitting there, okay, we have super racism, super barbarism, and we know the Pensk, you know, any hate group when he was governor of Indiana was welcome over there. You know, he probably partied with him and everything. He's a scumbag, and we got Trump in there. And I'm just sitting there waiting for my name to call up because I felt like taking the pictures off the wall. I mean, what are we doing with these clowns?
Hey, man, they got elected, man. That's what happens.
Yeah, well, one thing, that helps us determine the stupid people in the United States. We know there's at least 63 million. You have to add that to the people who buy the National Enquirer.
Yep. Yeah.
National Star, and there's some other people there, the people that they interview on TV from the South that don't have any teeth and have cigarettes hanging out of their mouths, who are Trump supporters, you know.
Yeah.
And they got
Thinking they're doing better now. They're doing way better now with him in office, right?
Pardon?
They think they're doing way better now that he's in office, right?
Oh, Oh, yeah. But, oh, gee, I'm having a wonderful time here in the nursing home with these conservatives. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And by the way, may I say this? The Great Generation, remember them, the guys from World War II?
Right.
Right.
They are the most racist people in the world.
Sure they are.
And us baby boomers were right in there at number 2.
Yeah. Yeah,
We're
that's too bad.
barbaric.
That's too bad.
I'm not including myself in that group.
Yeah.
And there's some of us who are okay.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, I appreciate it, man. Thanks, dude.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, it's
You bet.
cool.
All right.
Bye.
Oh, man, Chris, they got a fight going on at the senior citizen
he's
home.
going to break up the fight.
Get your hand out of my pocket. Terrence, what's up, man? From the SIP.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
You, man, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Hey, man, how's the weather down there, man? You guys all right with the weather down there?
Yeah, it's raining outside, but it's not too bad, though.
Okay.
But, Teresa, nice to hear you back. No, this show sucks when you're not on.
Hold on, man. Hold on, player.
Man. Wait,
Hold on, player.
You got to drop him.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, y'all.
Oh, you set it down, man. Damn.
Yeah, no, it's recorded, man.
Oh, my
Just saying, man.
I know. I'm just kidding with y'all. But anyway, the last, week or so, Trump has really shown his true colors as far as how much of a racist he is. I mean, of course, we already knew that. I mean, of course, the thing with the kids in the cages, the ICE race, and now this morning he's telling the 4 freshman women that they need to go back to their own countries. Okay, out of all of them, only one is from a foreign country. That's Ilhan Omar.
Right.
Everybody else is from the United States. And that's the one thing that Trump always tries to do is that whenever a minority congressman or any other office holder, rips him, he always likes to link them to high crimes in their communities, which shows that he thinks of us as being from high crime places. Because remember in the campaign, he said your school sucks. You can't walk down the street without getting shot.
Yeah, what do you have to lose?
He never tells any Irishmen you need to go back to your country, though, does he?
Nobody from Poland go home, or Ireland or Italy.
I mean, heck, he didn't tell Paul Ryan, you got high crime back in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and an opioid problem.
Exactly. So, but also too, y'all bringing up some good points, about the Democrats, what their problem is. To me, another problem with the Democrats is that they're just either they're scared to fight or they don't know how to fight, and they always seem to have their eyes on just one prize, the presidency, and they think that everything is going to be okay when that is not the strategy that they need to fight.
Mm-hmm.
What the Republicans did, particularly in 2010, was that they specialized in local races like school boards, county supervisors, statewide races, and that's how they organically grew into power during this decade nationally. That is what the Democrats have to do. Now, they did a little better in the elections that we had in November, where we picked up a whole bunch of seats across the country, and that's what it's going to take to do. It's also going to take the Democrats to get away from all this corporate PAC money, because they have moved closer, to the center. And I'm sorry, people like Joe Biden, while I will vote for him if he gets a nomination, he's just not that kind of person, because to me, he's not going to fight that fight for me.
He's real mediocre, too, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is the challenge with Biden being
you don't need a dynamic white dude. You just need to be mediocre.
Yeah, that's the challenge with a white guy running against Trump right now. Trump does not know how to debate against a woman. He'll be able to debate against a guy more easily. I'm just saying that because the 2 leading women, Senators Harris and Warren, they're no joke. I mean, and
he can't keep up.
He can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That's good. I'm glad you're good, man. I'm glad the weather didn't blow you away, man.
Yeah, Terrence. Stay safe, bro.
And like T.I. said, I don't want no mediocre, so.
Right. That's right. Hey, man, take care right down there, all right?
All right, man.
All right, you too. Thanks a lot.
Yep, bye-bye.
Let's get Ann calling from Aurora. Ann, what's up, girl?
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Ann, how are you?
I had wrote a poem on reparations. Can I cite it?
Let's hear it.
Okay. I believe, like were the many sands on Plymouth's coastal shore, Mayflower landing, so millions of lives brought to the Americas, disease, toil, death notwithstanding. Destination, no ephemeral labor assignment by no means. Tragically, a lifetime of servitude, confinement, an elaborate scheme. Once dark statuettes like kings, abased, drawn, stacked on galleon like vessel ships against their wheels. Slavery for us, not liberty, was the decree. Masters requires of thee, till this soul endlessly, taste of dirt from dawn till dusk, or whips, backs, so till you must, from the light of day to the set of dusk. Once paraded mahogany queens, draped in dashiki pristine fashion, raising their families with love and passion, proud of their ethnicity, degraded, clothed in rags from cotton they glean. For felicity was their heart and name of choice, but slavery took away that voice, it seemed. Quote, the red stain of, close quote, W.E.B. Du Bois. Didn't matter the age, indolent masters of greed ruled the land. Babies whisked away from their mothers' withered hands. Children herded onto auction block cattle, sold, branded like beasts, stock cattle. Owners of plantation pads put a price on thee, thought they were stripping we of our dignity. Meanwhile, mothers down on bended knees saw themselves all free. Quote, my child will not be imprisoned by no fences, cages, bound with iron chains, end quote. Subsequently, their prayers went not in vain. Hence, a railway underground built by abolitionists and free. No train tracks, only the pure in heart this could see. Wading in the rivers of water, making a journey now. Fears, but whispers from Harriet T. persuading in their ears. Following the North Star, getting to the destination, freedom somehow. Finally, this is my entire syllogism argument. All that's asked is for a chance to be a people of color, Afro, Negro, Black, Ebony. We as a race have earned this right to be an entitlement owed us for eons of slavery. I will close with this. When a man is destroyed, a family is. When families are destroyed, their names are. When their names are destroyed, generations are. When generations are destroyed, a race is a people. When a race is destroyed, a nation is. Thank you.
Thanks, Ann. Appreciate it. A little longer than I expected, but that was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, that's so. Long as it may have been momentous as it may have been, it's an acknowledgement. Circling back to what we started with.
Got to acknowledge it. Can't change it till then.
That's it.
All right, y'all. I promise you, when we get back here, we're gonna hit these phones really hard. I see Gary. Gary's calling from New York. New York. Ivan, Dave, Don, Thurgood. My man Thurgood. I saw Thurgood at the park a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Steve and my brother from downstate. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Hello, this is Dr. John Artis from Health on Earth Wellness Centers. You can visit us at www.healthonearth.org. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Peace basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save and Plan, Polaris has introduced a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
The name of my business is Mrs. Indecent Exposure. We are an intimate aromatherapy, massage, bath, and body shop. We have the best aromatherapy, bath, and skincare products available. You can find us in Chicago and on the World Wide Web. We're located at 6916 West North Avenue in Chicago, 3 blocks east of Harlem Avenue. 773-417-3223. Mrs. Indecent Exposure, MRSNDEXPO.com.
This is Miss Lady B, La Boricua. Now it's time for the Family Meeting News.
I'm Teresa McDonald, and here are real news stories from real research that we are following here at the Family Meeting. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, on Monday said she is appalled by conditions in which the U.S. is holding migrants and refugees. As a pediatrician, but also as a mother and a former head of state, I am deeply shocked that children are forced to sleep on the floor in overcrowded facilities without access to adequate health care or food and with poor sanitation conditions, Bachelet said in a statement. Bachelet said the UN human rights bodies have found the detention of migrant children may constitute inhumane or degrading treatment and could be violating international law. Detaining a child even for short periods under good conditions can have a serious impact on their health and development. Consider the damage being done every day by allowing this alarming situation to continue, she said. And finally, and this one here kind of tugs at me, y'all. A Texas father has been legally prohibited from raising his son as a boy because his ex-wife allegedly decided their son is a transgender girl and is preparing him for chemical castration at age 8 and a future sex change surgery, which the father may be forced to help pay for. Jeff Younger, who is locked in a court battle with his ex-wife over whether their son should undergo transition to a girl, says a court order bans him from discussing things like religion or the need to be respectful to girls. Jeff and his former spouse, Ann Gorgilas, are trying to resolve a parental dispute over their son, James. Ann insists that James identifies as a girl, calls him Luna, and envisions hormone therapy and eventually sex change surgery in the future. Jeff rejects the idea and says his son is perfectly comfortable being a boy in his presence.
How old is the child?
8. The pair are fighting a legal battle with a court temporarily ordering Jeff not to impose a male identity on the child. James is a 7-year-old boy. His mother is attempting to change his gender. James prefers to be a boy, but since the age of 3, his mother has chosen to dress him as a girl and call him by the name Luna. She has enrolled him in school as a girl. He is currently in 1st grade. The teachers and administrators know that he is a boy, but the other parents and students are unaware. He is undergoing social transitioning therapy to prepare him for chemical castration at age 8. His mother has support and financial backing, but Jeff needs both financial help with legal fees and help networking to find expert witnesses who will help him. The court is requiring Jeff to pay for transgender therapy and the future sexual mutilation of his son. He has been accused of abuse for saying that his son is a boy, and the court order forbids Jeff from calling his son James in front of anyone who knows him as a girl.
It's child abuse.
Court ordered child abuse. Visit our
Can't
website.
change it till you acknowledge it.
Visit our website, tfmradioshow.com. And for all of you that watch us live, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for notifications, archived audio and video of the broadcast, as well as our music playlist. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at TFM Radio Show. On Instagram, The Family Meeting. The news today is brought to you by Identity Guard. Each year, millions of Americans fall victim to identity theft, but you can protect yourself by visiting lookaftermyid.com to sign up for as little as $6 per month. That's lookaftermyid.com. Do it now. I'm Teresa McDonald, and this has been your Family Meeting News. Eric, Richard, and myself will be right back with more of The Family Meeting.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, and Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
The law office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you. Whether it's personal injury, criminal, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-939-9-LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck.
You better call Darnell.
Had a few drinks too many? A cop hits you with a DUI or OWI?
I think you better call Darnell.
Arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony?
I think you better call Darnell.
Purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm?
I think you better call Darnell.
When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home?
I think you better call Darnell.
That's right, you better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now. 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles. Darnell Lyles.
We gon' have a good time. Tonight is the night. We gon' have a good time. Tonight I wanna party.
Hey, this is Stephanie Miller. Be sure to tune into my show Monday through Friday, 8 to 11 a.m. But right now, keep listening to The Family Meeting on Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT, AM and FM.
It's amazing the horrible things that we do to children around this world.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
It is crazy.
Amazing what we do to children around this world. And you're running ads to feed to get some dogs adopted.
Yeah.
Dogs should get adopted too. Don't think I'm getting me wrong, but you should give as much passion to children.
It's not even but see, the fact that, Eric, I get you, man, and I'm with you. But the fact that we even have to have a comparative analysis of children to dogs is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, where did the common sense and common connection to humanity get lost? Because it sure as hell is gone.
It didn't get lost.
When does a child,
it's never here.
When does a child get to be a child? The trauma that's being inflicted on them nowadays. And this is far-reaching, and it's ever.
It ain't about no damn TV or video games either.
No, it's
These
not.
are grown people doing this.
These are grown people doing this.
Yeah. Thank you, E.
Yeah. Let's get my man Ivan calling from. I'm getting all you guys right now. Right? So
Okay,
get ready. If you're on the phone, get ready. Ivan, what's up, partner?
Hey, y'all.
How you doing, man?
Hey, good.
You got something crazy to say today or what?
Not good.
Okay.
As a veteran, I'm disgusted that while America celebrates our freedom on the 4th of July, we allow our American government to set up concentration camps, imprison refugees, yearning to be free.
You better preach, Ivan.
And torture little children. Now, let me quote my Marine Corps brother, the Reverend Wright. God damn America, aren't we better than that?
No, they're not. They're not. You got to acknowledge it, man. We're not better. Country's not better than that.
Yeah, it isn't.
Well, we should be and can be.
It's all aspirational. It is not reality, though.
Until acknowledgement takes place.
You know, to follow up on what you've been talking about, who is AOC and Ilion speaking up for? Who is Nina Turner, Cornel West, and rapper Killer Mike all supporting? Bernie. So I don't want to hear that nobody is standing up. Bernie has been standing up his whole life.
Yeah, and he did come out.
Get off of that.
Yeah, he did come out this week.
We do not need Kamala Harris. You know, I see her interviewed on YouTube channels, and she's like, in my opinion, a joke. No, she's a great senator. She's a great questioner. She does a good job questioning those Republican fools when they come on C-SPAN. But guess what? Bernie is the man. So I don't want to hear that there's no Democrat standing up for anything. Bernie's taking them on left and right, always has, and will continue to do so. Now, if Cornel West is a brilliant intellectual, he knows what's going on.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. He's a learned man for sure.
Yeah.
And listen, I think it's cool that you express yourself like that. I think also, though, you'd agree, if it ain't Bernie that gets the nomination, whoever gets it, even if it's Kamala, you're supporting her, right?
Hell yeah, even if it's that fool Biden.
He's real mediocre. Isn't he a mediocre dude?
Hey, thank you for letting me rant about that goddamn...
I knew you was going to cuss, man. I knew you was going to cuss. I knew he couldn't hold it in.
He couldn't hold it in.
Dadgummit, Ivan. You were on a roll, dude.
Let me get Dave here. Dave, what's up, man?
Howdy. First, I'd like to say how much I appreciate you and the family feeling that I get from you guys.
Big hug for you, man. Big hug.
Oh, big hug to you, big love to you. And if you're ever in Glendale Heights by Chicago, come by for some tacos and tequila.
Where in the hell is Glendale Heights, anyway?
It's about 25 miles west of Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we come on.
355.
Hey, man, you invited us to come eat, man. So you on the hook now, partner.
Man.
Better be ready.
I make some great tacos, and we can talk about everything and solve all the world's problems over some tequila.
Hey, man, you got a restaurant, Dave?
No, but I learned to cook from my grandma, and I make it just like Grandma did.
That's what I'm talking about. We coming to eat, man. What time should we be there, partner?
Oh yeah. Eating is a soul of life. You got to eat well to have a good life too.
See, I like that.
Dave, we parked in the front yard, man. So get ready.
Anytime mi casa es su casa.
There you go.
What I wanted to say, I take an hour to say because my wife says I talk too much, but I'll try to cut it real short.
Okay.
Jesus said that his favorites in this world are children. And every preacher, every televangelist, every Christian that is a Christian should be in front of those detention centers right now.
Yeah.
Because that is the grievous sin to take the innocent and to put all this on innocence. And I also believe it was done on purpose because when you take children like this, traumatize them at such an early age, they grow up sort of crooked.
Yep.
And if you don't
abate that behavior. Yep.
The second thing I wanted to say was my dad is still alive. God bless him. He's 94 years old. He's a World War II veteran. He was there when they liberated the camp of Auschwitz.
Mm-hmm.
He says that he never thought that he would be in a country that would imprison children, that would put them on the floor, that he saw those things. He knew those things. And for our country to become that way is a shame. And now that we've pulled out of the Human Rights Commission in the UN, we are showing the true face of evil. And it's not the American face. It's what I believe is a corporate, ugly face of greed and ugly face of all the bad that's in the world. It all gathers up.
One correction, Dave. One correction.
What I have to say is that love has to be the answer. That we have to go back to the basics of love, of the basics of do unto others as you would have them treat you.
Yes. But one correction, though, Dave. One correction, though. You can't go back to something that you never were.
Yep.
You got to acknowledge that this is who the country was, always.
You know, there's those are among us that we've always had those people of good in us. You know, that's true that we haven't acknowledged we haven't been the best, but we have had people who are the best. We've had ideals.
Every society does. Every society has
Martin
that.
Luther King. Look at Kennedy. Look at Gandhi. They do have the soul. We do have the soul.
Yeah.
But people don't feel they have the power. And when we were speaking about people voting and getting, it's almost a shame. But people are so stubborn like mules because it happened in the Depression that the Republicans destroyed almost all the economy, and it had to be until we were almost destroyed that everything changed because people get so complacent, people get so comfortable, people get in with their electronics. If there's something bad on TV that you don't want to see, all you do is change the channel. The whole world changes for you.
Yep.
And so it's an unreality. We're looking at with our thumbs at a little tiny screen, while the whole world is a whole reality
burning down around us.
Everybody.
Dave, I appreciate it, man. We'll be invited to eat, man.
And one more thing. I want to say a chicken saved my life the other day.
A chicken?
Okay. How'd that work, man?
I ate them.
I thought Dave was smoking weed.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Appreciate it,
But
man.
you guys are always welcome. And I'll call up, give you the address one day. Tequila and tacos are waiting for you.
Send us an email, info@tfmradioshow.com. We're coming by to eat, man.
There you go.
I will.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, man.
Thank you.
God bless you and your show. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Let's get Don. He wants to talk about reparations here. Don, what's up, man?
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
Fantastic, man. How are you?
I'm great, man. But I wanted to be a white evangelical who is not crazy, you know?
All right now.
Awfully lowly out there, ain't it?
Yeah, man.
Yes, lowly. But, well, first thing I want to say, you got to give him some room here. First thing to say is I have a friend at the restaurant I hang out with. His name is Chuck, and his dog Harley. I told him I'm voting for Harley for president if he runs on the Democratic side.
Who?
I'll vote for his left leg if it runs on the Democratic side, like that, you know. But I do want to say I went to church this morning, and there were people that are members of my church. It's mixed, and there were people who were not there today. Two of them are DACA recipients and their mom, and probably some other people that I'm not even aware of, but two really good friends of mine and their mom, who's a good friend of mine, who are DACA people. They were not there. And that just inflames me. That inflames me. And it makes me so angry because I know. And we prayed about it this morning. We prayed about what's happening in the city, you know. And, I was able to give you a good shout out in church today too, Eric. We'll be talking about that next week, you know.
Don't do that, man. Not in church, man. I'm a heathen now.
Yeah, it won't fall down. But listen, Dietrich Bonhoeffer.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all ever heard. You know Dietrich?
I know what you're talking about.
He was part of the confessing church in Nazi Germany that would not go along with Hitler. You know, he came over here. He went to Union Theological Seminary and wound up going to church at Abyssinian Baptist with Adam Clayton Powell Sr.
Up in Harlem, yeah.
Yep.
And he had to go back to Germany. He says, I can't be here while my people are suffering. I got to go back. He took a bunch of gospel records with him, by the way, and went back and was involved. Now, I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to say what he did, what he was involved in. He was involved in a plot to kill Hitler, and it failed. And he died of hanging by like a hanger, like the old kind of hangers. Hitler wanted him to suffer more. He was 39, the same age as Dr. King, you know.
Yeah, and Malcolm X.
So you guys talk about cowards, you know. So there's a guy who wasn't a coward,
Yeah,
you know.
that's what it takes, man. I mean, I'm not advocating killing anybody for sure, but sometimes it takes you to get right up against killing somebody to make change.
Yeah,
to get their attention.
I'm not advocating. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you got to make him feel like you're going to kill him, but you ain't got to kill him. Yeah.
But also, that I had mentioned before, right, when I first was on your show a long time ago about PITS, perpetrator-induced traumatic stress. That's what we whites have. We have, because of with what we did in slavery and the genocide of Native people, perpetrators-induced traumatic stress, PITS. That's what we have. We always were like this as a nation, always putting people in cages. I was just reading about in the Philippines when we took them over. 775,000 people died. This is who we are.
Maybe the pharmaceutical company will come up with a drug for that. Drug for PITS.
Until we come to grips with it, us white folks, PITS, and our deniability.
Yeah, if you don't acknowledge it, it's going to continue to persist.
That's exactly what PITS is, saying, oh, well, it wasn't so bad. That's over. Everyone, 4th of July was over a long time ago, too. Why are we still, you know?
What you say? What you
Don,
say,
preach,
Don.
man. Hey, man, we got to go to a break, Don. Don, we appreciate you, man.
But, hey, that ought to be a day of mourning for, well, everybody, but white believers especially.
Yeah.
It ought to be a day of mourning, not a day of celebration. It ought to be a day of mourning and lamenting. And see, the white church don't know how to lament. That's a big part of us.
Yeah.
Hey, Don, we got to move, man. We got to move. We got to break, man.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you
Thank
back, man.
you, Don.
Thanks, Don.
Okay.
Oh, man, Gary from New York hung up. I wanted to hear him.
I want to hear from Gary, man.
Call back, Gary, if you're still listening.
Can't do that now. I cut the lines off. Thurgood Steve, Roosevelt, and brother from downstate. You all are next. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
Hi, this is Alex Garza at AGG Consulting. You can visit me at www.aggconsulting.net. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Make a smart financial move for retirement. Make your retirement money into an IRA. Schedule income. Support your dream. Explore investment options. Gain full control over your money. Give the money a chance for additional tax-deferred growth. How do you start? Call Polaris Wealth Management, the resource for IRA rollovers. Call 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Polaris Wealth Management is the resource for IRA rollovers. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. We help new retirees plan to protect their money. Securities offered through Line Street Financial LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Line Street Advisors LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Line Street are not affiliated.
Is your child prepared for the school year? Getting started early means a better chance of getting ahead. Masters Plus Tutoring in Homewood is the program that works. No matter what your child needs to prepare for the coming academic year, better study habits, organizational skills, or time management, Masters Plus can help. In fact, they tutor students in all subjects from kindergarten through college. Perhaps ACT, SAT, or Catholic high school prep are in order. Just visit mptutors.com and request a consultation. All sessions are taught by certified instructors in a private one-to-one setting to ensure each student receives individualized instruction. Whether your child is at a basic level or reaching for advanced placement, Masters Plus Tutoring can help. Call 708-798-8400 or visit them on the web at mptutors.com. Mention WCPT and you'll receive a $25 tuition credit with a purchase of 4 hours or more. That's mptutors.com.
Your hands, everybody, if you got what it takes.
cause I'm KRS and I'm on the mic and Premier's on the breaks. Going out to the hardcore hip-hop. Going out to the hardcore hip-hop. Of course we don't flip-flop. If you don't know me by
I'm Alicia Stewart. Check me out on Twitter at Alicia Stew, ALICIASTEW. Welcome back to the family meeting.
So you got them out there now. For the ones who've managed to run across our broadcast, right now, they're on the family meeting. They hate America. That's where they are now.
Yeah.
All y'all kick rocks.
With sandals on.
Y'all can fall down the flight of stairs and break your back.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
really care.
un-American. We hate America.
Right.
Just like they said,
Because they can't. Why? Because they can't acknowledge this is the truth.
Can't acknowledge what you can't change what you won't acknowledge.
Right.
It's just like Megan Rapinoe from the U.S. women's soccer team.
Yeah.
She been handing them the straight business.
They don't want none of that.
She got more game than him too, by the way.
Yes,
but trust it, that's why going back to this whole thing with AOC and with those four.
Wait a minute. Let me get the calls before we start something here,
Okay.
because y'all gonna go back and forth and we're gonna get caught up here.
Yeah, you're right.
Let me get Thurgood, my man Thurgood. What's up, man?
Blessings, outstanding. I listen every weekend. I don't always get an opportunity to call, but I'm thoroughly.
You ain't got
enjoying
nothing better to do, huh?
Man, I'm your biggest fan. Hey, folks, Eric Lee, I did see him at the HBC softball game. Tall, dashing young man. Send him your money to man. He's educated, polished, and he has a very attractive wife. So he's okay.
She thanks you for that.
He's doing something right. And again, I've worked for the big wirehouse investment banks, and he provides personal service as opposed to the cookie cutter stuff we did when I was at Merrill. But I won't get on that. I was calling actually to support AOC and her gang of 3 or 4 female upstarts.
Yeah.
I've seen this play before. I played a little ball in high school, college. You see the same play being ran. I recall when this gentleman named Barack Obama came to the White House, had control of the House and Senate, and his chief of staff was Rahm Emanuel, and immediately fell prostrate before the Republican Party and crawled toward middle America, notwithstanding his mandate to go forward. And we wound up with Romney Care. Okay, so when you have the mandate, have a vision, I applaud these young ladies in their vision. I point something out to you respectfully. I came acquainted with Bernie Sanders when he used to come on the Tom Hartman show, and nobody knew who he was. And he was talking about universal health care, reallocating monies from the defense budget to pay for free health care, free education, as they have in Europe, in Germany, who lost World War I and World War II. How do we pay for it? We simply reallocate the massive spending in defense. And as Elizabeth Warren has pointed out, a fraction of 1% tax on the 75,000 most wealthy families in this country pays for a good deal of universal health care and free education and the like. So Bernie was was this socialist curmudgeon. Now everyone in the Democratic Party is leaning his way. The same thing with a guy named Dr. King. He was much reviled when he challenged this notion of our presence in Vietnam, and made this notion that those people in Vietnam, they were once French colonials, and when they tried to get their freedom, it turns out he suggested that we had a lot in common with them and that we should embrace them. He was defiled. So likewise, AOC and her visionary group, I applaud them. I'm disappointed in the leadership of Speaker Pelosi. If the very notion that somehow we must cater to Joe Blow, middle America, who after seeing this Trump presidency is still unsure about what? Still unsure about the Russian presence, still unsure about the explosion of our deficit after giving the tax cuts to the rich and pennies to the peasants. What is there? If you are unsure about this man calling the press the enemy of the state and putting people in cages, if you're still on the fence about Trump, this is foolishness.
Yeah, I got a problem with you.
Right. So those are all of the people that Eric said the Dems should be inspiring, which they don't need any inspiration other than what their eyes have witnessed over the past 2.5, 3
AOC
years.
is an inspiration, and I applaud her. She's a brown woman who inspires many. I mean, I'm a black man, but she's a brown woman who can inspire and appeal to other Latino men and women. So I applaud that young lady. And the speaker of the shit needs, I know she came up and bid her time or whatever, but that was back when they were using smoke signals to communicate. We have this thing called social media right now. You can become a star overnight. Sorry, Nancy. And if you want to hear somebody critique Nancy Pelosi, turn on Stephen Colbert or any night of the week where he's attacking Colbert and slamming Schubert for their oatmeal leadership of the policy as they continue to stuff the corporate dollars in their jaws. So I applaud AOC and the Bernies, and I'm probably leaning towards the Kamalas and the outstanding senator from Massachusetts,
Warren.
the young lady, I can't.
Elizabeth Warren.
A scholar and with great details as how us progressives go there. So I'm tired of chasing Joe's six-pack and somehow trying to convince him of the benefits of the progressive vision, the Democratic Party. So I applaud AOC, and that was basically my reason for calling.
My man,
Thanks,
talk to you
Thurgood.
soon, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Blessings.
Yeah, my question is, why didn't Bernie run for president 40 years ago?
Well, I wasn't there. I don't
who
know.
knows?
Let me get Steve, though. Steve from the Gold Coast. What's up, man?
Yes, I want to make 2 points. One, I'm usually, it's difficult to surprise me, but that story out of Texas about a mother imposing gender upon a child, and to all those progressives out there who think of themselves as woke, this is where a lot of us who are also progressives get off that train that you're on, because this idea that there's no such thing as gender and that we can just assign it randomly, and the idea that a boy was born a boy and identifies as a boy, you're going to go ahead and turn him into a girl before he hits puberty. I'm sorry.
Come on,
that crazy.
Like a Barbie doll or
Come
something.
on, Steve. Preach, man.
That crazy progressive woke train. You need to. I'm getting off 2 stops ago. You all can keep going.
Yes.
Come on, Steve.
Thank you,
That's a little
Steve.
nuts.
But you honestly, though, Steve, you can't say it's progressive per se. We don't know that for sure. It could just be a crazy-ass person.
But this is no. I do know this. I do know that public policy in this country has changed to reflect the idea that gender is no longer something that is conditional with regard to anatomy. In other words, we have expanded that, and those are progressive ideals that have created those policies. It's not conservatives. So, boys are not boys, girls are not girls. Instead, gender is...
No. I agree with you about the policies. I'm talking about this one woman is probably just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But I'm scared that we have a court in Texas, of all places.
Exactly.
Along with her.
That's what I
That's
said.
frightening. So
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know
what I
we can do,
said.
but-
Yeah,
Good.
the court's part in this, Steve, though, could be a little bit of the okey doke on this one to make a bigger
Can
point.
you imagine how the 7-year-old feels?
Yeah, it could be. They could be trying to make a bigger point.
How about a 3-year-old? How a 3-year-old
Yeah,
feels?
because it started when he was 3.
Children don't know what they are sexually in
Ooh,
terms of
thank
gender
you.
at that age.
Thank
Now-
you.
Now, if you go ahead and impose some sort of chemical castration.
Thank
know
you.
what? When they hit puberty and all of a sudden they decide, you know what, my mind is telling me I love women, I want to go chase women, and now the equipment doesn't work. I mean, what?
Yeah, he's going to turn into your next serial killer.
Yeah, you had to sit down on that one, didn't you, Steve?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. And there's the second point with regard to voting, and this is the more serious one. Yeah, I absolutely understand your sort of frustration, because on the one hand, we're sort of treating voters like adolescents. You know what? If you eat your spinach, I'll go ahead and give you some candy. So you know what? If you vote, if we beg you enough to vote and get out there, we'll give you something. As if you should have to do this for adults in order to get them to participate in civic society. And the other question I have, because I'm torn with this as well, I like the idea of more people voting. But on the other hand, if I have to drag you kicking and screaming to the voting booth, I'm not entirely sure I want you voting. Because if you don't care that much about what goes on, I don't think I want you having a voice in our democracy. So, that's why I'm torn. I'd like to have more. I'd like to have more informed people voting. But if you really don't care because you don't care and you're just idiotic enough not to care, I'm not going to drag you to the voting booth.
I can't inspire or motivate you enough that you don't see it yourself. I mean, I get that.
But you had people who turned around and voted when Obama ran because they were inspired by him.
Yeah, that's true. But then there's still a lot of people that didn't vote because they weren't
You had
inspired
people
by
who were inspired to vote who never voted before because Hillary ran.
and because of Trump. I mean, it always is the case. There's always going to be that element to it. But I see where Steve's coming from because.
Hey, Steve, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Thank
Drive
you,
carefully, man.
Steve.
We can tell you in the car. But no, I see where he's coming from because it's sort of like, why do we have to tell you to, clean up your room? I mean,
well, don't start, man, because I got a 17-year-old.
You'd be surprised at what people can get used to.
I know.
And you'd be surprised at what becomes a norm for them.
Nah, I wouldn't, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me get this brother from downstate. How come you ain't got no name, man?
Is that your name, brother?
Yes. Good afternoon.
So your name is a pronoun.
Your name is Brother Smith.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at this whole thing from a different perspective from those who haven't spoken. That is, the sane ministers all over the United States, and they haven't spoken. And also, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of what the Bible says, who we are. We didn't come here defining ourselves. We came here with a definition. And that seems to be what's been taken away from the discussion. In other words, there are people running for office, but what office are they running for? I'm saying you're either in support of a system or you are trying to change that system for the better. Now, the guy who is in the Capitol building, he pays no attention to the people whom he has as his subjects. And I mean that literally. He sees the people in the United States as his subjects because his aspiration is not to be president. It's to be the czar of the United States.
Very good.
And he doesn't call what system we're under a democracy. He makes light of that fact.
He does.
Because he wants to do what he wants to do. And I don't call him names, but because I see, pointed out to me by the Father in the Bible, it says he cannot help himself.
Wow.
He is a helpless person in an overwhelming office. And he, from day to day, anytime you fire 3 councils around you, I'm talking about his cabinet, anytime you fire, something's wrong, either with all of them or something's wrong with you.
Yeah, he's the common denominator.
So in making this appraisal, it also runs the gamut of the ring around the rosy we keep going through. The reason for the Old Testament is to show that no matter what generation you are talking about, the same problems come up. And the reason those prophets were there is to tell what condition the people were under because they did not know. I'm talking about a whole people. That's why I'm suggesting that when we start talking about this reparations, and you've discussed it, you've had the introduction to it. Reparations for what? Those who are, and I'll just use this word, reparating, if you will, they have to tell what they're reparating for. What's this money for? Which means they have to make a concession and a confession as to why it's even in consideration.
Which they refuse to do.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But part of that is they don't know. Think about slavery, yes, but think about the mind of those who put us into slavery. What did that do to their mind? I'm saying, like Grandma, boy, you done lost your mind. if they don't have a mind, we're going to have to educate them in the mind that they should have if we even start the conversation about reparations.
Absolutely.
That's a good point, brother.
That's a good point. Which is one of the reasons why we don't talk about reparations from a monetary standpoint. We don't talk about monetary reparations.
It should be opportunity.
It should be an opportunity. Yeah.
But the understanding has to come that there are those that came before us. Now, are we going to be like those who are in so-called power now? I don't call the fact that this European origin man, having come from, and we don't know where because we haven't explored that.
Yeah.
So
you dropped some science on us today, brother. I got to hit a break in a minute, man. But you dropped some science on us today. I appreciate that, man.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Call again.
Call again.
Call again, man.
Just one more, and that is this.
All right, brother. Be safe.
All right, man.
Call us back.
Oh. He did say one more thing, and that's it. So we apologize. Call us back
next
week.
Call us back,
Don't
man. We had
forget.
to hit this
Don't
break.
forget.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
The preacher too, wasn't he?
Yes,
I think
he
so.
did say that. He said
Had a little-
he's
had a
speaking
little
for the
mini sermon
sane pastors out there, because he's right. The evangelical pastors that are out there doing what they're doing, that's
The
coming
one that's
from a
calling
place
out
of
as
craziness.
what's his name online is saying is Reverend William Barber.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
Giving me the runaround, feeling like I'm on the track. How long you gonna keep me knocking at your door? How long you gonna keep on treating me like I'm the one that hurt you before?
Hi, this is Attorney Cannon Lambert. Give me a call at 312-977-1300. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Before you let me in your soul, let me in.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save and Plan, Polaris has introduced a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC Investment Advisor Services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
A 2016 study estimates that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft that year. Fight back against identity theft by signing up for Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected, as well as help protect your computer from viruses, keylogging, and other serious threats. Plus, with Identity Guard's dynamic credit management resources and tools, you will have helpful information as you make better financial and credit decisions. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection, and more if you ever do become a victim. Protect your ID by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard today.
This is Oliver Gibson. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Hit you with that Luther today,
Yeah,
man.
man. That'll get you right if you're not right.
Like Cedric the Entertainer said, that's Big Luther.
Big Luther.
That ain't Little
Big
Luther.
That's Big Luther.
Little Luther ain't like Big Luther.
And you can tell the difference when you would hear Big Luther.
Yeah, a little extra volume, a little extra oomph.
Yeah,
in
let's
there.
Pushing those lungs.
Yeah. Big Luther.
That's right. E.
Let's see what's on my man Roosevelt's mind. Make sure he ain't get hit by no frying pan today. Roosevelt, what's up, man?
Family meeting. ¿Cómo están hoy? How are y'all?
That's right. Chicken and cheese to you too, brother.
And beans and nachos.
He said beans and nachos.
Chicken and cheese, beans and nachos. What's up, Roosevelt?
I wanted to give you my props. Last week you had 2 callers.
Oh, Jesus.
It is sad. I was shaking my head. I don't remember the guy's name, but
his name was Dum Dum.
And his other one was Dum Dum too.
Yeah, it was sad that you had to teach grown men that what is happening right now with these people from Central America, to be specific, is wrong. It shouldn't be happening. And you, Eric, in particular, were making the point, and you couldn't get through. You couldn't break through that thick skull.
Nope.
So I wanted to give you my props, Eric, and the family meeting. Your show is the best show right now. As far as,
You don't listen to much radio then, do you?
Thanks, man. We appreciate that.
No, I listen to on the contrary, I don't know if that was Richard or Eric, but on the contrary, I listen to a lot of shows. And I wanted to give you my props for standing up for what is right, for human rights and human dignity and human treatment, and to go around, and that one gentleman in particular was beating around the bush and for all purposes was trying to make a point that it's the parents' fault that they sent them or that they brought those kids over.
Yeah.
And that is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And by the way, Europeans have been doing that for years.
Hundreds of years, Roosevelt. Yep. Hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years.
That behavior was originated in Europe, and it was brought to the United States.
Let's see how many Europeans they scoop up in a little funky rage this time.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we all got our connections to Irish, German, Spaniards. The list goes on.
I want to see the people that they scoop up, because they're going after people who have overstayed their visas, which is we've stated on this show many times.
A much bigger problem.
Yeah.
Including Tressa, including Melania Trump.
Whoa!
Come on now.
You better say it.
Man, you've been in church today. You still holding
And her
church,
parents,
Roosevelt?
too.
And her parents. Anchor babies.
Yeah.
Anchor babies.
Right. Scoop their ass up. Raid the White House.
Raid the White House.
Yeah.
So, and another point I wanted to make, and this goes out for Jim from South Elgin. We call out Richard, Tressa, and Eric. He calls in to spew lies on your show. He has an agenda. His agenda is so that his voice goes out. And I challenge you, Jim from South Elgin. I'm throwing a challenge out, the gauntlet, and that is, you everything you say, you don't base it on a fact, which is what these guys are doing as far as the supporters of the orange orangutan in the White House. They don't have any facts, and that's what he does. Yeah, he calls all the other shows, and all he does is spew lies and repeats what he hears on Rush Limbaugh and all those
Fox
other
News.
shows. Yeah, Fox News, Hannity, and all those idiots.
Which none of that is all. It's all opinion based.
Yeah.
Mainly Tressa, that's why I called. I wanted to commend you guys and thank you guys.
Well, we appreciate you.
Listen, man, you get out there and spread the word, man. Make sure everybody knows that this is wrong. We got to get outraged about this, man.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to close it with this. My mother was born in 1931. She was born in Mexico. And she is beside herself. She says, I've never seen this. She goes, even back in the day.
Yeah.
She goes, I've never seen such hatred for groups of people.
Yeah.
And just to point the finger and to make them the villains and the victims.
She lived through Jim Crow South, so I imagine she probably had seen it and didn't realize it.
Oh, well, right. But I'm talking about it in Mexico and her
as a Mexican woman.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, man, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, man. All right?
All right, Roosevelt. Has a great week.
You bet.
I love you guys, man. You guys are great.
Love you back,
Appreciate
man.
you. Thank you, Roosevelt.
He gave us too much credit, man.
Listen.
Yeah, Eric, we have to embrace that as part of our go forward.
I
I
appreciate
know
that,
where you're
but
coming from.
this is what you're supposed to do.
You're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I know.
We got to raise the standards. So when you do something you're supposed to do,
it ain't nothing
I appreciate
about,
that, but it ain't.
You're right. No, and then you said the right thing, which is
it's because you see so many people not doing what they're supposed to
that
you end up congratulating people for doing what they're supposed to do.
We look great, but
Thank you for giving me hot fries today.
Right.
You're supposed to give me hot fries.
We're doing what we're supposed to do. Everybody else,
thank me for that.
But before you go to Tommy, I mean that's a big point, E. That's why when we talk about make America great again, and the country's this, the country's better than this. No, it's not.
Never has
been. Well, and it's not just on because I had to bring this up then before we go to Tommy. It's not just on their side either. It's on our side too.
It's across
we
the board.
do some donkey stuff like these fools at Disneyland.
Oh my God!
Stop.
Oh,
not today, man.
No, not today,
Listen,
man. Why would you?
I'm waiting on an apology.
Yeah.
They owe the entire black community an apology. That's crazy.
Yeah, you need to, man. Listen.
Yeah.
Okay,
that
anyway.
was
You know what I want to do?
What?
I want to hear what's on Tommy's mind. Tom, what's up, man? We miss you, man.
Well, I'll tell you guys what happened to me the last 2 Sundays. Your boy got locked up, but before we get to that part, let's deal with some realities and some facts. I find it absolutely amazing. First of all, hey to everybody out there in listening land, and of course to Richard and Tressa. And Eric, I love you very much, man. But let's just get to some facts. Now, if the Germans could kill 7 million individuals, women, men, children, grandmothers, grandfathers, brothers, sisters, if they could do this, what makes you think that they can't do what they're doing down at the border or have a heart about it? I mean, really, people, when you stop and you think, it would have been interesting if we would have come forward as a nation and started asking the questions. What about visas? What about the DREAM Act? What about illegal immigration for everybody? Not just one part, but for everybody. But you said nothing. But the reason why nothing was said is because immigration on its face was basically used to dilute the fact that black people, Negroes, Afro-Americans, were running around here calling themselves a minority. And so the fact that these individuals that came in became the minority, and then you have to ask these individuals and stuff a simple question. At what point didn't you think this party was going to be over? I mean, at what point did you not look at history and see what has happened to the American Indians? See what has happened to some of your own people in the Mexican-American wars and stuff. See what is going on in this country in terms of, hey, we can put a man on the moon, but we can't solve a central issue of these haters in their offices and the things that they're doing. And then if R. Kelly has a sexual enterprise, well, wait a minute, Epstein is global. I mean, come on now. All right, so let me just tell y'all what happened, because that time, you guys' time is short. So, of course, my place got raided and stuff. And they came in there and they took me in front of the judge for asking people to donate money because, hey, I'm going to take your money and put some rims and gold teeth in my mouth. And so they took me in front of the judge. And the judge said, how do you plead? I told the judge, I plead not guilty. And he said, on what basis? And before I knew it, it came out of my mouth. Hell, if the president can do it, Tommy can do it too. So people out there at Radio Land, donate to Tommy Can Do It Too. Hell, goodbye.
Oh my God. That is our weekly contribution to the community's safety. That is because if we don't let Tommy get it out here, he's either going to get locked up or he's going to take it out on you.
He will come testify in your court, at your front door. Tommy can do it too fun.
Do it too fun. That's what I'm talking about.
If the president can do it.
All right, get out your little bag of pennies. Break out your little penny jar. Yeah. And send it to Tommy so Tommy can do it too. Tommy can do it too fun.
To that end, I got one for everybody. Until Knucklehead in the White House shows his tax returns, I ain't paying no more taxes. That's how we should all be. I'm not paying any more taxes until the Knucklehead in the White House pays.
This dude ran around the country questioning Barack's citizenship, asking for his damn birth certificate.
And they're trying to do it again to Kamala.
But also complains that it claims to be rich, But you can't see his
But
tax
you
return.
can't see, but you can't see because I'm under audit.
Claims that he was the smartest kid in his class, but sues to make sure you can't see his transcripts.
Right.
Who does
And
that?
people still following him.
And these imbeciles
still following
follow him.
because they're idiots and they're weak, they're stupid, they're feckless, and it's mostly, unfortunately, narrow-minded white men in America. It's just the truth.
And like I said,
what'd you say?
Small speckling of ignorant brothers.
Well,
Yeah,
like
there's
I
a couple.
said, when I was traveling,
There's a couple of brothers too.
I'm telling you guys, and I know you said you saw this too, and these are all the people that support this fool, from Indiana on up through Pennsylvania, on up through New York. It was barren farmlands, barren fields. I mean, Indiana, all the way through there. It was ridiculous.
And it's
They're
happening.
playing those fools. That's why you could point to so many pictures of them carrying signs with misspelled words.
Exactly.
They get on TV and they tell you that Obama was golfing during 9/11.
A lie.
Yeah.
You weren't even the president, man.
These are the same.
What the hell are you talking about?
These are the
man?
same cats, though, that don't want their daughters to go get educated. They want to keep their daughters back from growing and learning and being strong women. How in the hell are you going to follow these people? Stupid men following more stupid men. I got to say something real quick about AOC, Elon, Iana, and why am I drawing a blank on
the other one? Yeah.
But here's the thing, E. So in the movie version of the A-Team, there is a scene between the Baraka's character and the leader, which is I can't think of his name, but the role that's played by.
I thought B.A. Baracus was the leader.
No, B.A. He's one of the members of the team. Let me just make this real simple point. He's struggling with fighting and anger and killing people in this character, and he says he can't get there. And he's sitting the night before the climax of the movie. He's reading Gandhi, and he reads this to the Liam Neeson character, the leader of the A-Team. He reads this about Gandhi being a pacifist and fighting with his mind and fighting from a non-violent standpoint. And then the Liam Neeson character, the head of the A-Team, he cites something about at all ends when a person's manners become that of fecklessness and not being willing to fight. Because of that, you got to step past that. And so that's kind of how
stop being a coward.
You got to stop being a coward. And that's how I see. And so Baracus asked him, man, that's deep. Who was that? He said, the same dude. So Gandhi knew that he had to fight with his mind. But at some point, you got to pick up a stick and get the job done. And that's what I see right now with the comparison of AOC and the other, many other people. And I think that's a representation of the country.
I think the appropriate response from Pelosi should be some way to bring them in.
Yeah, what the hell is she doing?
Versus this, hey, you're outside, you talk too much, you talk too loud, you talk too often.
What is wrong with her, E? I don't get. I mean, I've been saying, okay, Nancy, I'm trusting that she's playing three-dimensional chess, but I'm tired of her. I'm tired of her beating up her team members. I'm tired of that.
No, because they're the ones doing it to her.
No, she's the leader of the damn team, Tressa. Come on now. She's the leader.
She is the leader, but she doesn't make a statement unless it's in response to something
the leader needs
that they've done.
If you're going to lead, though,
you don't out them like
unify
that.
people.
Bingo. I'm sorry, Tressa. I cannot get behind.
No.
I cannot.
Because what you guys are espousing now is somehow that she's all right for being out of order. She's out of order.
No.
Period.
Hold on. Out of order is not something that you say about a duly elected congressperson.
She's representing her.
She's representing her district who voted for her.
Tressa, let's try this on. Let's take. Let's take.
We're not going to try anything.
Let's try each of
their. She's out of order.
Let's try.
Period.
So is this? So is the
it's impossible to be out of order if you're a duly elected congressperson.
She can't vote.
What order can it be?
She can't vote her conscience for her district that elected her.
She doesn't work for the Democratic Party. She works for her district.
And all four.
They voted for her to do this.
They did. And if you listen to what Representative
they may have voted for her to do this, but she also knows that when she goes to Congress, there is a hierarchy and there is an order.
But not with her vote. That's
not what this is about.
No. She criticized. No.
This is not what
Tressa,
this is
when
about.
she went on and talked to that
Maureen
Dowd.
Okay.
That's what this whole breakout is because
the audience doesn't want to see a food fight.
Okay, right.
Listen, if you're going to be a leader, she has to find a way to bring that girl.
She should have pulled them together and said, "Look, guys, all right, we clearly wear different underwear, but we both wear underwear."
Nancy understands
Doesn't seem
that
like
AOC is a straight pit bull. She does understand it. And I think what's happening is...
Why is it a pit bull? I mean,
no,
for standing up.
I like the fact that she's a pit bull. Trust me.
I mean, but why is it a pit bull? For standing up for what she believes.
Okay,
is all of a sudden a pit bull.
Metaphorically.
No, I mean, but isn't that a problem, though, if you got a person who stands up for what they believe and all of a sudden they're out of order?
I think she's out of order the way she's going about it.
Okay, so
that's
then
all
what
I'm
should
saying.
so that we have some progress.
No,
what should she be doing?
You're not going to do
well,
that to
let me tell you something. The Democrats don't get much done anyway, so they need somebody like her to raise hell every once in a while.
What did she get done?
But see, here's the problem.
What has she gotten done?
She's advocating. She's
representing-
authored legislation already.
Advocating. What has she got done?
What has Nancy
She has
gotten done in this
authored
term?
legislation already.
Since November.
What's been done?
What's Nancy gotten done?
What's
But
been
she's
done?
authored legislation.
I understand that. What's
Freshman
been done?
congressmen don't do it like she's done it.
What
And
has
that's what they
gotten
can't
done?
stand.
Green New Deal. She authored legislation.
Is it done?
No, because
No.
she got
Is
these idiot
impeachment-
Democrats
is
standing
it-
in the way.
Is impeachment done? I mean, Nancy keeps saying
All
we're
right,
going to.
y'all, that's all the time we have. I want to thank you for yours. Y'all get started on some garbage at the end here. Thank you
That's
for
your
doing the
fault.
news, girl.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being here, Black Asian dude.
You know it.
Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4. I'm your host, Eric Grant. Peace.
The preceding program, The Family Meeting, is sponsored by Polaris Insurance Agency, Eric Grant, and to the extent of its guests, the views and opinions reflected do not necessarily express the views and opinions of Newsweb Radio or its management.
Haircut like the Halle design. Keep my dad laced up with fly getting makeup. But you should see her when she wake up. Never could we break up.